go.
East Stroudsburg University women's basketball with head coach Maureen Smith. And coach, just want to recap your two games last week. The win over Cheney, 62-47 on Wednesday, and then the overtime loss to Kutztown. Just first, a general overview of the two games last week.
Well, the Cheney game was just well needed and well deserved for us. We've been kind of on a little bit of a losing skid, and it was just nice for our team to get some confidence back. Really had a nice defensive performance from our youngsters. We had 14 blocks in that game. We just had some really nice accolades from youngsters. Lenny Gimmel had 8 steals. So it was just really a nice way to springboard, and it rolls right into Kutztown. Forcing overtime. We fell short, but we can show that we can compete, and just shows when you get a little bit of confidence under your belt that we can actually be pretty dangerous.
The game against Cheney shoots 23% from the field. You have 21 steals, 14 blocks. I know one of your things coming in through your first 3 years has been you got to be very good defensively to compete in this conference, and that's something you did on Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of always our mainstay. We're just trying to find that consistency with it. I felt even against Kutztown, our defense really did help us out. We were just having some issues converting offensively right now. When you look at our average of how many points we're scoring in a game, I tell the team all the time, I'm like, I would win a game 2-0 if I could. But still at the same time, we know we have to keep teams under 60 points for us to really make that push to get that W. And, for us to force it was 58-58 for getting into the overtime. And then, unfortunately, Kutztown pretty much won it on the free throw line, hitting 14-14.
Yeah.
Tough way to lose, but still at the same time, we followed that defensive philosophy, so that's what gave us that chance.
And Kutztown, you were able to play with the lead for really well into the second half, and about the 7-minute mark when Kutztown took its first lead. Just talk about that, part of your team, being able to get out in front in the first half, and then a couple of the kids who played well offensively, Andrea Veers with 13, Ryan Fiasco with 13.
Yeah, it's been kind of a constant this year. We've been getting out of the gates really, really strong, and but the sustainability to keep that rolling. We kind of go into little droughts where we can't get scoring, but we've shown that we can generate quite a few points in a little bit of time, and that's just part of the growing process with a young team. And hopefully we can build on that as we go forward in these next 5 games, and can really start gelling it and to hopefully get those stretches a little bit longer to give us that kind of lead to put us over to the win side. But performance-wise, we're getting a solid performance from Ryan Fiasco, Jess Martin, Andrea Veers. Those are our usually constant scorers for us, and we definitely need them, but we still need more bench production to help support that. At the end of the day, I always tell our team we don't have any superstars, but we do need balanced scoring, and we're starting to get it. It's not just one player getting double digits, now we're getting 3, and that's what helps us be competitive. And they know that we're going to need everybody down the line if we're going to compete in the PSAC tournament and hopefully go far.
Your top scorer this year, and Jess Martin, top rebounder,
Yep.
tops in block shots, 4th in the conference in blocks, 5th in rebounds, and she's going to be recognized this
Yep.
year. Player of the year for the
MVP.
Lehigh Valley small college basketball team. Talk about her season at this point through, through 22 games, 21 games.
Yeah, and Jess has done a great job. It's always tough when you're the freshman of the year, PSAC East, and there's a lot of pressure coming in. We made her a captain, and it's hard to be when you're a sophomore. And I think she's maturing appropriately into her role, and she's just getting better every day. She's been playing through some injuries and still just giving us that constant production. So it's just nice to know that you can count on that aspect showing up every day. At least she hasn't been getting into the foul trouble. She was trying to be the TK in the beginning of the year. I think she was a little excited about that block record she set last year, and got herself in a little bit of trouble. But now I think she's kind of figured out, how to still get some of those block shots and not put herself in jeopardy for having to sit on the bench with too many fouls. But no, her overall performance has been excellent, and like I said, we're just trying to get her surrounded with more consistent players and scoring, and I think that's what's going to make us effective in the long run. But it's just really, really nice to show that she's starting to develop that leadership and to drive our program.
You talked about the block shots, and obviously she set the single game score record with 9 against Shippensburg. Then Wednesday night, Michelle Boggs had 6, and you
Yeah.
mentioned her and mentioned Helena Gemma. But really, you have to look at those two as key freshmen who are going to be able to grow and mature along with
Absolutely.
Jess and Andrea.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and those guys are getting valuable experience this year. Michelle Boggs is really starting to develop into her own as a true 5. Got great footwork, has nice timing on the block shots, and has been really strong with the boards as well. And now Helena, unbelievable athlete. She's just starting to come into her own. Getting excited looking on the PSAC stats, and now she's ranked 3rd in the PSAC in steals. So, she's starting to get addicted to defense, which is exciting because, I've told her when she first got here she could probably be one of the premier defenders in this conference. And, I think it's kind of one of those things where she kind of had to see it to believe it kind of thing. And I think she's starting to realize, like, wow, I can actually do that. So that's the exciting part with a youngster. They just kind of go out and give it their all, and she does every game she's out here. But we do have other key freshmen, with Melissa Paderas and Thaisa Revere that are giving us good minutes in other games, and they're getting that experience. So I think in the long run, I mean, we're living on freshmen and sophomores. I mean, Andrea being a junior, and of course there's Faye and Barb, but still at the same time, we're really working that foundation with a lot of youngsters.
Yeah. This week you have an opportunity. I know talking at the start of the season, one of the team's first goals is to make the PSAC tournament, and you have that chance this week with the games against Mansfield and at Shippensburg. One step in what you want to get accomplished this year.
Wow, yeah, it's definitely, we definitely want to get that accomplishment. And, with the PSAC expanding now to the 6 teams, I mean, obviously we would love to get into that 4 slot back in the day. But even for us just to get in it means a lot. It just means a lot for our program, for how young we are. With our record right now, we're 6-15 now. So, but at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, it just is not indicative of the way we're playing. And our team is starting to gel, I think, at the right time, actually. If we make the PSAC tournament, I know we have to be one of the more dangerous teams because you just don't know what you're going to get. And, we just know once we get that foot in the door, everybody's record's 0-0, and now here you go, best out of 3 kind of thing. Like, get there, lose, go home. And that's kind of the experience they need to have just so they know that kind of pressure and what postseason feels like. ESU has not been to the postseason for a while, at least since I've been here. So for me, it's just